The Filipino American Cancer Care now brings you On the Air with FACC, tributes and support to those impacted by cancer. On the Air with FACC, the Filipino American Cancer Care on PHLV Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, magandang gabi sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Amerika. Good morning, Philippines. Magandang umaga, Pilipinas. This evening, it's April 30, 2021 at bukas ay bagong buwan na naman at buwan ito ng Mayo, Mayflower. My name is Josie Moralidad Ziman, President and Founder of the Filipino American Cancer Care. Welcome sa ating programang On the Air with FACC, Filipino American Cancer Care, dito po sa PHLV Radio. Siyempre, kasama natin sa Las Vegas, behind the camera, walang iba kundi si Johan. Hi, Johan! Okay, and again, nandito na ang isang gwapo galing from the heart of Maryland. Gwapong-gwapo, fresh na fresh, Emmyrich Vicente. Hi, Emmyrich.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and good morning, Filipinas. Yeah, you know, we're finishing up the month for the month of the Financial Literacy Month, and that's how we connected the cancer and financial this month. And then starting tomorrow, it's the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage and History Month for the whole month. So I'm really excited for next month as well. So.
And syempre, kasama rin natin sa ating program ngayon ang co-founder and executive vice president of the Filipino American Cancer Care. Walang katumbas, walang katulad, nag-iisa lang, Ed Logan.
Hello, Josie. Welcome back, Emmyrich. So we missed you last Friday, but I know you enjoyed the big city. And as you said, May is coming. We have a full guest, and we also celebrating Mother's Day during the May.
That's right.
Honor those cancer patients and survivors. So,
yes,
and of course, Josie, don't forget what's the event on June, by the way.
Yes, para po sa ating mga followers, supporters, listeners, kahit sino pa kayo dito sa Virginia, DC, and Maryland, we are inviting you sa Zumba contest and concert ng Filipino American Cancer Care this coming June 19, 2021. This is going to be our summer event and fundraising event.
Yep, and definitely we will have 4 cancer beneficiaries for this particular event. So hopefully you guys can support us.
Yes, and now yung mga tickets po ay available na. We have printed tickets. Ang presyo nito is $15. Emmyrich, pwede naman siguro yung mga taga-bangko, di ba?
Pwede yung mga yon. Of course.
Ano, Emmyrich?
They can afford it.
Yes, I'm going to send you, Emmyrich, 20 tickets. Deal?
Wow.
Ano?
Deal or no deal?
Deal or no deal? Isang tawag lang yan, di ba, Ed?
Half and half.
Isang tawag
Half
lang
and
yan
half.
Boss, 15 times 20. Teka muna. Kailangan ko yata ng calculator. 20 times 15. 300. What's that, Ed? Ano, Ed?
Financial literacy.
I know, right?
Parang natameme si Emmyrich eh. Ano ba yan? Nilagay niya ako sa spot.
I know, you love doing that.
Yan ang pinakamagandang negotiation.
And you know the Zumba competition and mini concert. There's so many things gonna happen that day. We have beauty queens as guests as well.
Kakanta ka ba, Emmyrich?
No, never.
May kakanta si Emmyrich. Kakanta yan si Emmyrich. Hindi pwede, alam mo ba? Yung ating... Yes.
We have not seen him.
Ang motto ng Filipino-American Cancer Care, matira ang matibay. Subok na matatag. Subok na matibay. Si Emmyrich ang kakanta sa entablado.
Tindi, no? Tindi.
Ano, kung ayaw mong kumanta, sasayaw ka, Emmyrich. Pwede mo bang imbitahin si Mommy at Daddy?
When they get back, if they are back by then.
Okay. Now, it's 9:07 at mayroon tayong mga special guests this evening sa ating radio program. Who would like to introduce first? Ladies ba? Kung pwede, sinong gusto magpakilala sa ating lady guest tonight? Ed,
Okay.
ikaw na. Si Ed muna.
No, Emmyrich will do all the introductions.
I will do
sige.
but I will introduce ladies first, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Emmyrich, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you. So our guest tonight, it's the power couple, I should say, right? First is the lady of the family, Isa Encomienda, bachelor degree in management and economics. Presently, senior loan mortgage officer and area director of Wise Lending. It's a commercial lending, real estate investor, minority business license, small business license, PE dance teacher at Royal International Christian Academy. Most of all, she's a mom of 2 handsome boys. And 2016, she turned, wow, you don't know, you don't look 50.
That was 2016.
That's 2016. And she wanted to do something else. And she loves Zumba. She loves to dance and help other people. And she became Zen February 13 in 2016 and did a very Zumba fundraising for breast cancer, Youth for Christ. And she started a yearly fundraising for the School for the Blind. That's amazing. In the Philippines. And she helped and provide school and personal needs. This is very close to her heart. And I didn't know, she is declared as a legally blind.
Yes.
Wow.
Interesting.
We're so lucky to have you tonight. And of course, next to her tonight is the handsome, there you go, the husband. Currently, he is licensed in the tri-state area of Maryland, D.C., Virginia. Additional licensee in Delaware, California, Colorado, Arizona, New Jersey, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, Georgia, just to name a few. After graduating from college, held a position in Bethlehem Steel as plant engineer and went on the position as patent examiner at the Patent and Trademark Office. Always wanting to do more. And his future family, he started sidelining insurance and financial services at 26, held licenses Series 63, 26, and life and health. Yeah. Over the last 26 years, he has helped hundreds of families in sound financial solution to buy, sell homes as realtor as well, provide financing for a loan officer and protecting their families as their insurance agent, having a lot of knowledge and experience in all these areas. Today, he is focused on the insurance aspect as we currently have a greater need for the service and a shortage of qualified agents and concerns of the fastest growing segment of our population. The seniors are the forefront of the market. He and his diverse team of agents are ready to serve you and your family. From financial expense, mortgage protection, save money. And this is really tuning in to a lot of what we're talking about for the whole month here at Filipino American Cancer Care. Please welcome Mr. Ray Encomienda.
Thank you.
Thank
nice
you
to
so
meet all
much.
of you.
All right. Okay.
Well,
Too long.
would you
Too long.
guys want to greet
That was for my
anyone?
website.
Mm.
My
Parang
website.
nobela yung yung bio.
Thank you.
I know.
Okay.
I was trying to read it as fast as I could.
I know it was for the website. I'm sorry.
You did a good job.
I thought you guys were compressed. But
Okay. Can I shoot the first question?
Of course.
Sige. Gusto ko lang malaman, alam nyo, Mr. and Mrs. Encomienda, dito sa aming radio show, ang una naming mga tinatanong, kung hindi pagkain, pera. Kung hindi pera, love life. Okay? Now, gusto kong malaman, where did you meet each other? And how was it to fall in love with each other? How did you fall in love?
All right.
O, di ba?
Okay.
Love story ka agad, ha? Tapos pupunta tayo sa pera.
And she volunteered to answer it first.
Because he might forget what happened.
I'm gonna fix the story.
It might be a wrong information.
Okay.
I get to make corrections.
Okay, let's do the introduction muna ng love story.
Okay, good. Because basically I was Singles for Christ in Virginia. I used to live in Virginia, Northern Virginia. So we put together the Singles for Christ, and then we're, helping the Baltimore area. And then he was there. The only thing he said, do you guys want to eat dinner?
Mm.
And then
Wow.
smooth. I says, okay, no, we need to go. But after that, we became friends. Okay.
Friends first.
Friends first, right? For a year or two. And then the rest is history.
A year or two, you couldn't remember if it's a year or two.
Almost 2 years.
A long time.
Because
Friend zone.
yes,
Friend zone.
because he also have a girlfriend that time. He has a girlfriend.
Ano yun? Ano, Amerikana o Pilipina?
Filipino.
Well, he thought I'm Chinese or Japanese. And he said, oh, that's fine because if you date Filipino, you need to marry them.
It's almost you get
Marry her or something, right? Right away. So,
Yeah.
but we became a business partner with the financial services. So,
Was there anything there to correct, Ray? The story is true?
Yeah, for the most part. Definitely, as you can see, she's out of my league. So it's part of why I work so hard. You gotta earn that love every day.
Mhm.
So yeah, but
So ano yung mga common denominator ninyong dalawa? Not only yung finances, no? Okay kayong dalawa, click kayo dyan. Pagdating sa finances, di ba? So ano po yung mga qualities ng isa't isa na talagang meron kayong chemistry?
I think it's really opposite attract, right? Because I love to go out. He's introvert, right? But of course, with the business, he needs to, be sociable. And whatever he do, I want to do it, and I want to be a support for him. So every business he get in, I'll be there. I always there. I always support. So in the beginning, he start the mortgage business, and then I get in, and then he became the realtor and real estate broker. So I became the real estate broker at that time. So mortgage broker. I'm sorry, it's a mortgage broker. So it's really a partnership because it's really hard to work with the spouse.
yeah.
I'm just curious. One follow-up question. In your bio, we learned that you are legally blind.
Filipino, you need to marry them.
It's almost you get
So,
Can you hear me?
yes.
You mentioned in your bio that you are legally blind. Paano ba to nagsimula?
I have a glaucoma. It's advanced glaucoma. So when I came to America, they told me it's already advanced glaucoma. So I really need to have a series of surgeries. The left one is the one really became tunnel right away. And then I lost it along few years after my pregnancy. So now it's more than 12 years that I have no vision on the left. And this one is only tunnel. Tunnel, that's it. So if you want me to see you or you want to shake my hand, you're going to be in front of me.
directly in front.
Directly in front of me. This is the only thing I can see. Yes. But I do everything. God is good. God is good.
She legally.
I am legally blind, but I never claimed disability
She
because
could
I
actually
really
claim disability, but she does really well, tries her best to work hard, carries a lot of load in the house for us. Yeah.
Yes, and I really love to help a lot of people, you know, not just financial, because I really have I do a lot of fundraising, and I told Ed that I'm gonna do the fundraising. Already have the place for the four cancer patients, so I'm doing it in our church. It's outdoor. So I'm thinking about, you know, June 5, if you guys okay with that. But you don't need to be there. I can, you know, just send the money.
Okay. Now, Ed, ikaw na.
Okay, well, Ray, I know you shared, when we were talking about this planning, this particular event, how, cancer really affects everybody. So I just want to make sure for our listeners and our viewers in the Philippines and here in the US, how does cancer affect your family personally, or personally, how does cancer impacted you and Isa?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's anyone nowadays who hasn't been impacted by cancer. I mean, my auntie had a cancer. Isa's aunt had a cancer. It's crazy, and nowadays it's like anyone can get it.
Yes.
I mean, one of the things, it's a joke, but not really. But when I go out and I sit down with somebody, if a guy's sitting in front of me, I said, one of us is gonna get a cancer. I said, I hope it's not me. And he goes, I hope it's not me, because there's a 50% chance between men to get a cancer.
Yes.
There's a 30% chance in women to get a cancer. So it affects everybody. So I say it lightly, but there's provision for that if you take it seriously. And I know you had a guest last week, which are very good friends of ours. You know, we love Kuya Joven, Ate Belen, great couple. But an average family, when they have a critical illness, what doesn't get paid by the insurances, they usually leave a bill of anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000. That's in excess of what the insurance will cover. So that's a lot of money. That's a lot of hard-earned money, hard-earned savings, whatever. But if you have the right planning for that, then, you don't need to worry about not only get the family member getting sick, but the family wouldn't be, taken under by that big, bills.
Yes.
So it's pretty serious, but there's provision if you talk to the right people. So. But my auntie, she survived. She was very serious cancer. She survived over 6 years. One of the things that impacted me, she was a nurse. She ate healthy, exercised, did everything she could, being in a medical profession, and she still got it.
I know.
So what impacted me when that scenario happened is like, shoot, I'm not going to work out anymore. I'm just going to enjoy my life. So I'm a little bit thick, but she lasted for a while, and she had a great life for the extended time that she was given. But yep. And then
Emmyrich.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna follow up some questions regarding the family. How about you, Isa? When your family members encountering cancer, how did they take that, and how did they respond? And
Well, yeah, we have on my mother's side breast cancer. So my aunt, she lives in Canada, so she passed away like 10 years ago through the breast cancer, and she's still very young, maybe 40s. So we thought breast cancer is really treatable, but for some reason, happened to her. And I have another one. My cousin is still on my mother's side. She's in the Philippines, so every year with the breast cancer awareness, I always do my Zumba fundraising. So last time was Zoom, and we did good. We collected $650, right? And then we share it to everyone. We send it to the Philippines, of course. Yeah. It's the Filipino really needs a lot of help, really. So really, I believe everyone knows someone with cancer. And it's the thing that we cannot control, of course. And just like what Ray said, 30%, or among women can get the cancer. And we're just very blessed that we are in America, that most of the cancer could be treatable, but of course that means money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really very, very hard, very, very hard, especially to the Filipino.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, going back to kay Ray, no, I just wanted to ask this question. Ray, sa bio mo, you are a real estate broker, you are an engineer, but at the same time, you are a financial advisor or planner or agent, whatever. Bakit naman? Why are you so motivated to be part of the financial services industry?
I like money. I like money. I don't spend a lot. I really don't. I just I really enjoy making money. I enjoy helping families, educate them, teach them how it works. I think a lot of our community is, unfortunately, they don't have, we work, they're workers. And I believe that, I'll give you a story that made me change my life. I was working at the Patent and Trademark Office as an engineer, and I had just graduated. When I first graduated, I worked at the Bethlehem shipyard. It was a blue collar work, nothing bad. But after 5 years of college, ending up in a blue collar scenario. I mean, I was a supervisor, but I was standing on the Chesapeake Bay, with the water coming in, with the wind coming in, standing on steel plates in steel toe shoes. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I went to 5 years of college for this.
I thought
and then afterwards,
Ray, I thought you were gonna say, I have a good view.
No, it was cold, man. I'm like, I could feel steel toe boots standing on half-inch plates. The cold will go up to your body. I'm gonna get arthritis if I work here too long. Plus, I learned to curse so bad, working with those type of people.
But were you earning a good amount of money at the time?
I was making good, but money's not everything, right? I mean, you have to be happy with what you're doing. So I ended up going to the.
And you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, it was good money. I mean, first thing I did, my mom's a real estate broker. First thing I did when I graduated, didn't even get my first paycheck. I was barely 21. We bought a house in my name. So it was nice. 21 years old, owning a house. That's what we used to get married with. So when we got married, sold the house. You'll like this story, Rich. My mom took full commission. She didn't even get the discount. Yeah, she helped us find the house. So when I bought, she's the realtor. She sourced the house. Yeah. Then we paid for the house. I had someone in there for a while, and then when we sold it, I don't know if she was unhappy or not, but she took full commission, so we could pay for our wedding. So we didn't have a wedding loan. Yeah. So it's always been about I just enjoy talking about money. I think everyone works for money, but I think a lot of people don't really understand how the workings work, of money. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And then I also have to earn her love every day. That's how I do it.
You have it, honey.
Yeah. And you hit the nail on the head earlier, talking about when somebody encountered cancer. At this period of time, it's not $1,000 expenses. It's more of hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands. It depends on, number one, the insurance. So if you can elaborate with us a little bit for our listeners as well. And you have a firsthand experience on how to manage your funds. If you can walk us through that kind of thinking or thoughts, like, somebody's earning a paycheck, or maybe, if you can give us a couple of examples for someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, or someone who's have some extra, what should they do?
Well, I'm gonna start this with a story. I have a very close friend of us that I actually thought I did a good job for them. The wife is a charge nurse at, Johns Hopkins, a very, very highest position of nursing. You would think she had the best health insurance. The husband, he's just taking care of the kids. And I offered them a program similar to what we have, which living benefits covers cancer, death benefit, living benefits as well. And I got the husband and wife insured. Right. And I thought that was good. But they have the 4 kids. And did you know one of the kids actually got the leukemia, blood cancer, right? I had no idea. I was in tears. So he called me up. He was crying. I'm getting chill right now. I have a flashback of when he called me. I rushed right there to the hospital. They flew her from, one county to the Johns Hopkins, went to the city. And I was so devastated. I didn't cover the kids. But here's what happened. She did finally she's cancer free. She's good to go, whatever. But they lost the house. The husband and wife got separated. So single mom and dad now, 4 kids, 2 different households. I mean, that's what happens when people don't have the right provision, because what's the number one reason for people to separate, which is finances. So whether it's the finances that they're not making enough, or the finances from a sickness, as you know, Rich, you're in the world that we're in. I mean, more than 50% of foreclosures is because of a critical illness that was unexpected. Mm-hmm. So the number one thing that we all have to do is buy the right type of coverage. And the one at work is not enough. The one at work they only cover so much. They're not giving money away. You have to have your own side coverages. Yeah.
I just want you to emphasize, because that is the misnomer with a lot of the Filipinos, because the entrepreneurship is very hard, as you mentioned from the opening of our show, that they're just be a worker bee. They can easily blend in to the American society and American workforce, right? Mm-hmm. But that is really one thing that we want to educate our listeners very well. So I appreciate for pointing that out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And Filipinos are very educated, but that's the biggest thing. I have a big ego. We all have to have an ego to do what we do, honestly, because I take rejection all day long, but it's less like, awesome, keep giving it to me, because I know something's coming new, something good is coming with all that rejection I take every day. But at the end of the day, just you might know so much about this thing, but you don't know how much about money. For example, doctors make a lot of money, don't they? But doctors, unfortunately, you think they have all the advisors, but I've met doctors, I've met nurses, after 30 years in the profession, they don't have a lot. They have 300,000. I met a lady who is the head of nursing, retired. You know how much she had in her 401k? She had like not 401k, 403b. She had $300,000. So that sounds like a lot of money. Yeah, when I was a kid, and 100,000, and you retired, and the average income was 30,000. 300,000 today is like 3 years replacement income. It's nothing. But that was a career as a charge nurse. Mm-hmm. So anyway, long story short, I don't want to make it like too heavy, but obviously, I like money.
I mean, you can get that kind of policy with whatever you can afford. But
it's so
please
affordable.
Take care of yourself, right? Yeah. And your family. It doesn't need to be $1,000 a month. If you can, if you have $50, and have this the living benefits, and we can do a term, term for young people, maybe 250,000. Then when you get sick, you have the protection, and you don't need to dig into your savings account if you do have it, right? So you don't need to ask for help for other people, like what is that, the one that GoFundMe, and it's really it's really amazing having this kind of insurance or policy in your pocket. Mm-hmm. You everyone can afford it. In my opinion, anyone can afford it.
You can't afford not to.
Yes,
because if you make it.
So my next question is, how important is living benefits if you don't have a lot of income?
It's not even a concern, because even $1 a day. Mm-hmm. Are you saying you can't find $1 a day? $1 a day plan is available to everybody. $2 a day. I write those things all day long. Mm-hmm. It's just a value. People have money. Mm-hmm. If the value is bigger than the cost, then obviously they have the money for that. So I don't believe people don't have money, especially in where we live in America. You're in America, they have money for everything. It's just they don't value it. They don't think it's going to happen to them.
Mm-hmm. Tanungin natin si Emmyrich, ikaw may hawak ng pera.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have that aha moment when you're talking to someone and they said they don't have enough, right? And guess what? you're looking at their cell phones. It's the latest model.
They have more debt in order to show off to the world that...
And then they have a large latte on the other hand.
Starbucks.
$5 every day.
And they're telling you that, oh, I do this every day. Wait a minute. What do you mean every day? So like, the way that you said, like $1 a day, that's a good point to start for someone. I started savings when I was my 401k and all of the stuff, even my life insurance when I was 18.
Wow.
The reason why is, number one, it's cheaper at that time, the life insurance. And I wanted to build legacy for my family.
There you go.
Because I'm alive, I can build my own legacy while I'm alive, and then when I pass away, at least I know my family will be taken care of. And so, if you can walk someone, I mean, you tell a great story about some of the families that you met in the past, and just the saving. If you can kind of give us a step by step on that $1 a day. Just give an example for that. Where would that $1 a day can bring a family to?
I mean, thanks for the question. Typically what I do as a process is I do a financial inventory on what they're doing, where they're spending their money, where I can reallocate. It's not that people can't afford, they're just probably wasting money somewhere else. I mean, heck, we live in America. We live in America. So like you said, they're spending money on lattes. They're spending money on sodas. A soda is like $1 or something plus already. They're wasting money somewhere. So we just have to make the value of this plan or whatever plan that first of all, you should have a financial plan, right? Because that's going around without a financial plan is kind of like, you can't hit a target that you don't have. So one day retirement is not guaranteed if you don't have money. You're going to work for the rest of your life. And then people are trying to depend on Social Security when they realize, like, you guys are never going to get Social Security because you're too young. And they realize that Social Security is way underfunded, super underfunded. So good thing.
What can you do with the $30?
So what I just try to keep me on track, but because my mind works like that. It's like I sit down with the person and we do an analysis, and then I say, okay, so where's your money going? What do you have for this? What do you have for that? And then I say, well, what if you're not here tomorrow? Or what if that sickness comes? What's your provision for that? Well, I have 401k. Okay, how much you have in your 401k? I have $100,000. Okay, so
minus 30%.
Minus 30%.
The tax. The taxes.
Exactly. So that's why what is insurance? Insurance is transfer of risk. So something that's going to happen, we're all living longer. We're all going to have a chronic or critical illness because we're just living longer. It's just a matter of time. Sometimes it happens sooner, sometimes it happens later. So knowing that, what do you do? If I know I'm going to live longer, I need an organ transplant. I need I might have ALS, I might have dementia. It's going to happen sooner or later. No one just passes away in their sleep nowadays. So we figure out what's the value to them, if they can even qualify, and then we show them, is this better? Because you're making a choice whether you buy the plan or not, because you're choosing to leave your family in a bad spot if it ever happens to you, or you're choosing to take care of that. So that's your choice. Which one makes more sense to you? Take care of your family, or just go around like, oh, it'll never happen to me. And that's the other reason I'm in insurance, because I was like, I'm going to live a long time because someone got to deliver those benefits.
That's right.
And it's fun. So yeah. The other way I love about this conversation is that one of the things I know, we all agree that Filipinos aren't so much entrepreneurial, but guess what? We're getting left behind by the other countries.
Filipinos are not really business minded.
No, but Josie, here's the key. You want to know the secret how we're going to fix that? See, it's all about money, correct?
Okay. Ray, can you please save those information? Meron lang tayong special guest singing artist tonight, and kakanta sila para sa inyong dalawa.
Thank you
Our
so much.
special guest tonight is a doctor. He was born in Maramag, Bukidnon, Philippines, an inspirational pianist, musician, concert producer, and doctor of physical therapy. And tonight, kasama po niya yung mga Centino siblings doon sa Pilipinas na kanyang nadiscover sa Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Joel Damarillo Sibag.
All these pieces broken and
right. Thank you so much, Dr. Joel Gamarillo Sibag and the Centino siblings. Balikan natin yung ating mga special guests ngayong gabi, si Mr. and Mrs. Ray Encomienda. Ray, ano yung gusto mong sabihin kanina?
I like the idea of leveraging the insurance company. I think that's a good idea. Like I was saying to, we're doing pretty okay, First of all, we don't do a lot of saving. We actually focus on investments, cash flow, real estate, insurances, business, having agents. That's how we set up our retirement. So it's not really about having a big pile of money. It's like really putting that money to work for us so that the money starts coming in like a cash flow. But one of the things that I was play around with this idea, because we all know that the Filipinos, they're not very entrepreneurial, although the ones that get into business are very successful. We went to the White House. I mean, I heard the percentage was crazy. Like a very small percentage of Filipinos are actually in business, but the success rate is amazing, like over the top. Okay, we went to the Filipino American month, right? We actually have a Filipino American month in the US, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, so how do we compete? Because as you know, the people who have the money are the ones who make the rules. So right now we're being influenced by people who are just in business. I see nothing wrong with our fellow Nepalese, Middle Easterns, all these other Chinese, Spanish even, right? What do they do? They come in here, all they can do is entrepreneurial stuff, right? So then you see them now starting to make a lot of money because they're in business and having influence. Does that make sense? And they're able to influence policies, or influence taxes. The people who are Filipino are the ones who are W-2. That's the worst position to be in because they just take your money. They don't even need to ask. They just write a new tax law, boom, they can take the money. So I was like, what if we can convince enough Filipinos that if they don't want to be an entrepreneur, why don't you just buy a big policy to leave to your family? I said, because it allows them to catch up very quickly. Does that make sense? Yeah. So rather than using your own money, your own hard-earned money, take a little bit of that money and use it to buy a premium that when you're not here one day, you leave $1 million to the next generation. How would that work? And see what happens in another generation from now. Yeah. It's just a thought. No, but here's the thing though. I'm doing it. That's how we're doing it. Yeah. So it may not be for everybody. They may not believe in it. Some people believe, I don't want to leave my family nothing because I didn't start with nothing. Okay. How's that doing for you? I like the idea that I want to leave a legacy for my family so the next generation and future generations can have a big portrait of us on the wall saying that, hey, we set them up the right way.
Someone will do it. So funny because, when I got married, I was, my wife and I, we saw a commercial of Gerber stuff. That's where we started really needing, life insurance, the term, the financial benefits for the next generation stuff. So that's why it's really cool that you bring back that educational awareness to our community. And really, because, cancer really, as we kind of emphasize in this month, how stressful being already have a cancer, but the financial toxicity of self already putting strain more in the relationships.
Yep, appreciate that.
Actually, what I observed tonight, just listening to Ray, he has that good motivation in convincing, even like me, because most of the time, itong mga nakikita ko ng mga agents, oh my gosh, mabobore ako, to be honest with you. And alam ko na minsan, talagang parang, they will give you heaven and earth. You know what I'm saying? But then, as I listen to you tonight, nakikita ko yung convincing power mo na you are giving them a story na ito ang situation nating mga Filipino. Na you know what? It's time for us to take care of ourselves. Hindi lang yung shopping, hindi lang yung pagbili ng mga telephone. Let's invest something for the future. Kasi nga hindi natin alam kung ano yung mangyayari sa ating kalusugan.
Yeah, there's always that YOLO movement out there, right? You only live once. I think there's a lot of different interpretation on it. It's like basically, it's like you only live once, and and I'm gonna be an island, like I'm gonna be by my, not quite. That's if you're kind of centric type of person that it's just me that I'm gonna be taking care of, not everyone else. That's and culturally, Filipinos, what you said earlier, we take care of one another. We
Our
have
families back home.
yeah, we have our elderly living in our own homes, and until until you don't get married, you stay at your parents' house, right? And then when you get married, you move out, and then your parents will stay with you until they pass on. And so I like the way that you're putting the story. And one thing that I agree with Josie, that you show your passion about your profession, and I think that's what's convincing about it. It's you've seen it, you've lived part of it, you did your own activities around it, so you can speak about.
I think it comes with age, because the older I get, the older I get, you know how they say the older you get, that old guy that just don't care. I'm indifferent. I help everybody who wants to be helped, and if they don't want to be helped, it's just not for me.
Yeah, Josie is right, because when you share the information, you're not selling. Because it's the passion. It's for them. It's not for you, right? It's not for us.
Because you are not just living for yourself.
Right.
You are living your life with others. Now, my next question is, dahil isa kang financial advisor, agent, real estate broker, let's go back to this financial services industry. When is the best time to enroll para sa living benefits?
Oh, wow.
Well, as soon as possible, which is tonight. As soon as possible, because you don't wanna wait, because just like what everybody said, we don't know what's gonna happen to our health, right? Everybody is like working out, eating healthy, trying not to get stressed. But of course, those are the things we cannot control. Well, as soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Nice. Really cool that you kind of emphasize the urgency. At the same time, we kind of give a caveat to our listener, to our previous episodes that we talk about. There's some grace period. You want to make sure you have that kind of into consideration. At the same time, if you have a pre-existing condition, right? That's what we ask that. There's some things that you have to really start preparing. It's a proactive approach, how to address it. It's a pre-planning, and then it's the phase approach that you need to really put into consideration. That's really appreciate that kind of.
So there's the best time, of course, is today, but it's not really, like I said, budget. It doesn't really have to do anything with the budget. I opened up a policy for some 30-year-olds for $1 million coverage with living benefits for literally about $35, $36 a month. So what does that do? It gives them the coverage they need for the 10 years because they didn't have the budget. And then they can convert a term policy with no health requirement to a permanent policy later when their budget's a little bit better. But there's really no reason. I mean, that was like 5 years ago. So they're 5 years into the plan. And I've been calling them to try to convert it, because when you convert it, the good news is you don't need to qualify for health, because 10 years later, your health can be completely different.
That's good.
But unfortunately, you're going to qualify at the older age. And you can't reduce it that far. You can reduce it. Like if I'm 30 when I got it, and now I'm 40, I'm trying to get $1 million worth of coverage as a permanent, is going to be pretty costly. But the good news is I'm qualified. Now, I'll give you an example. One of my friends, he had one of those policies. He had a term policy. He had a heart attack, right? Even to this day, about 4 or 5 years later. The day I was going to see him to sign up a living benefits policy, he almost died, literally. He had a 6-year-old kid. And then I felt so guilty. I'm calling him. He said, why isn't he picking up? I felt so guilty. He's posting on Facebook, I just had a heart attack, praising the Lord Jesus. I'm still alive, got a 6-year-old kid. I didn't talk to him for a while. To this day, he can't get a policy because of 5 years later, he still had that in his history. His term policy is able to convert, but he was so financially devastated, he can't even afford to convert it. It's only $200 a month.
Wow.
So
Okay.
sorry.
Last question from my end. What is the difference, or is there any differences between living benefits and life insurance? Then, next question ko, what can I do if I have a cancer and I have no insurance?
Go ahead. That's yours.
What was the question?
Question is, what is the difference between the
Living benefits and
living
life
benefits
insurance.
policy?
Are there any
regular-
differences? Yeah.
Right. And you said the regular life insurance.
Go ahead, you take that one.
Huh?
Go ahead, take it.
Well, the regular is it's either there is a permanent insurance, right? But it doesn't mean you have the living life, right? So the permanent could be the whole life, but still any insurance, right? Without the living life. The living life is the product we call index universal life.
Yeah, living benefits basically it's just an add-on to the coverage because it was just needed by the marketplace. Now the second question, so it's just most policies should have it, but unfortunately some still don't. So you just have to make sure you have the right one.
I think this product is 12 or 13 years old.
But most of them have some type of it. Now your second question, if you have cancer, right?
Yes. What can I do if I have cancer and no insurance?
That's like, what can I do after I have a car accident and I'm trying to buy car insurance? It really doesn't work. There's nothing really you can do. There's Medicaid if you're really in bad shape, but financially, I mean, there's nothing you can do. That's why preparation is key.
Yeah.
And if they reach out to someone, to like a broker of insurance, it's probably going to cost them so much money to get a life insurance.
I have I just opened one today through Gerber's. Okay. It's a guaranteed issue. I have guaranteed issue companies where this lady, stage 4 cancer, she's still alive. Now, just like my auntie, she was diagnosed terminal, but she lived more than 6 years, I think close to 10 years. But it was terminal when they diagnosed her, very advanced. But in any case, I was still able to get her a policy with stage 4 cancer, no questions asked. What's the caveat? She has to be at least alive for the next 2 years. If she passes away in 2 years, the family gets all the money back plus 10%. So it's available. So you know how much the coverage was? It was $7,000 just for burial, because that's all you're thinking. But $7,000, it was like $48 a month. Yeah. So it's not unaffordable, but you have to go into that.
It's a different benefits. It's a different benefit.
Product.
It's just for final expense.
It would be a different, exactly. Right.
It's no one's going to give you a big coverage for any of that. The most is maybe 10, 15.
My last question for both of you, what advice you would give to our listeners out there who's, worried about this? They have a history in their family of cancer. And even for their loved ones, what would you give as an advice? And since you guys are family as well, with two beautiful boys, handsome boys.
Yes, thank you.
I mean, it's just like, why would you want to go back to a flip phone when you have the computer in your hand already? It's you should just get it. I think I impressed upon everyone tonight. It's affordable with any budget. Okay, so just get it. I mean, there's really no reason. Everyone can afford. You don't need to get it from me. You don't need to get it from anybody. It's available to everybody.
And that's the key, Ray. You just said it. It's not just getting it through you or through us. Number one is do your homework, study the nuances, right?
Yes.
Terminologies, because sometimes it's scary when you are going to a foreign land or foreign country that you don't understand. That's how a lot of Filipino and Filipino American doesn't understand this kind of lingos.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the things that is important is that go to someone that doesn't need your business. They don't need your business to pay the mortgage.
I'm not going to Emmyrich.
Yeah, because when you feel pressed, that's because they need your account because their mortgage is coming due, the rent's coming due. So you have to be going with someone who appreciates your business, respects your business, but doesn't need it. So.
Oh, by the way, I have this one important question. Since you mentioned in your bio that you are a real estate broker, I would like to ask you a question. Can a cancer patient get a mortgage?
That's mine.
That's more for her.
That's mine. That's my question.
She's mortgage.
Well, when we process the loan, we don't ask for your health. So as long as you qualify income-wise and credit score, you are good. And as long as you have 2 years history of working, and they say you can keep your verification of employment, you can keep your employment, we're good. It's no problem.
It's similar to asking like an older person, like if I'm 80 years old, can I buy a house? Of course you can. You know,
As long as you have money.
Yes, you have a down
You
payment, you have a credit score, and you have a job.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's no discrimination.
There's no discrimination, correct?
Mhm. Is there such a thing as a cancer insurance coverage?
Yes, 100%. There's definitely a cancer policy, but it's narrow. So if you don't get cancer, you wasted all your money. So better to get a policy that encompasses everything than just a narrow cancer policy, because they're cheaper, but you have to hit that target. Just like long-term care policy. Most people don't know they need long-term care, but it's expensive. Like my mom, she has a long-term care policy. She never used it. She's 85. What are we gonna do with that now? It's $1,300 a month. You see? Now, had it been in this policy at one time, because there's features like a long-term care, but if it doesn't, she never used it, of course, one day she's not gonna be with us, that money will go to the family as part of the benefit. So it's all encompassing into one. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I really want to emphasize really this living life, because everyone should have this. You know, that's what I said. It doesn't matter how much is your budget.
Yeah.
So us is a combination of, you know, of the one
We got
with,
them all.
with the savings, the living life with the savings, living life with the term. The boys has it. Why not? It's there. It's available, and you don't need to wait to be sick to think about that, right? Think about now that you are healthy and you're young, and it's cheaper.
When I want to end with this story because I know we're pushing up on the time.
Yes, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah, when I first got introduced to this living benefits, I went to a presentation and they talked about it. I almost fell off my seat. I literally almost fell off my seat because I was 46 years of age. I'm an electrical engineer, and my uncle passed away. He was an electrical engineer. He's the reason I became an electrical engineer, Uncle Pabling. He died at 46 years old with an aneurysm. He has 2 kids, okay, and passed away. He was my first death benefit, Richie, my first one. I signed the dotted line. It wasn't even delivered. The policy wasn't even delivered. He was still in underwriting, passed away. We got the family $250,000. My aunties were all over me saying, are they going to pay? I don't know. He was just in underwriting. I don't know if they're going to pay. They did pay. His son is a nurse. His daughter is a teacher. So that was a great thing. But when I was 46 and he's 46 and he had all those scenarios, I was also having shortness of breath, Josie. I was scared. I was like, what if I'm going to stroke like he did, right? And then they told me about living benefits. I want that. That's what I need because I'm a business guy. I don't have all the health benefits that typical workers do. So before I could get the policy, $250,000, I didn't want to do the medical because I'm chunky. I was already having shortness of breath. So 2 weeks ahead of time, I'm working out and I'm trying to eat really healthy. I'm clean for like 2 weeks. And then they do the medical and thank God they approved me. Nowadays, you can get up to $3 million without no medical.
Well, Ray and Isa, it's really nice talking to both of you. And hopefully, makasama natin sila uli dito sa ating program on the air with FACC. Ang dami kong natutunan ngayong gabi. Thank you so much, Ray and Isa Encomienda. It's 10 o'clock in the evening, and thank you so much to all our listeners, followers, and supporters of the Filipino American Cancer Care. See you next week dito pa rin sa PHLV Radio.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
See you soon, Rich. Hope to see you guys soon.
The Filipino American Cancer Care has just brought you On the Air with FACC, tributes and support to those impacted by cancer. On the Air with FACC, the Filipino American Cancer Care on PHLV Radio.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.